Back in the early days of Fall Creek, there were flour mills, sawmills, and they made flour, cut wood, and ground things in a feed mill so they could have food for them and their animals.
The water-operated mill has to be on the edge of a river, creek, or stream.
The flour mill had to be on a rocky edge so the mill would not wash away. If the mill was not on a stable structure, the mill would fall down when it floods.
A millstone is used for grinding grain.
This is the millstone from the old flour mill in Fall Creek. They think that there might be several more buried underground.
These stones used to be part of the foundation of the flour mill.
Water-powered mills had to have an undershot or overshot water wheel that brought water in. To get it to work, they had to have lots of water at a high speed. Most of the mills were water-operated.
Since we don't have the mill in Fall Creek anymore, we went to Dells Bill in Augusta to find out more.
These are the two streets for where they would feed the grain, flour, and corn. This is the feeder that brings these pipes and let it go down here, and there's a door that goes down into the millstone that mills up.
There's only one mill, and they tore it down and made a new one in Fall Creek. Most of the mills were built by the local people because they learned how to build from their family and past generations. Simon Randall constructed the Fall Creek Flour Mill in 1873.
Back in the day, farmers harvested their corn and wheat. They harvested the crops by hand. Then they went to the mill, and when they grinded wheat, soybeans, and corn, little particles came out of the grinding area. Sometimes that's why some mills burned down. In fact, today, the combines deshill the wheat, corn, and soybeans. Then they grinded the soybeans, corn, and wheat in the drying area. They got the name mills because it means to grind grain for animals and flour for cooking and others.
Okay, so right now we're in corn harvest season, and the way the corn harvest works, trucks come and they pit on that raised area over there, and the wet corn goes into those two tall bins on the left side of the corn dryer, and they're called wet bins because it holds the wet corn. And then the corn from those wet bins gets fed into that tall corn dryer there. And it's called a tower corn dryer, and it's a continuous flow. So the wet corn goes in on top, and then it continuously flows down until it gets to the bottom. So then it's elevated all the way back to the top again, and then it goes in those larger bins. And that's the process the corn goes through here when it comes out of the field to get to the storage bin.
Over the years, mills have been very important to our lives, not only back then, but now too. It provides jobs, food, and without mills, we wouldn't have paper, steel, grain, flour, wheat, and many others.